Americans shocked Sweden. Team USA celebrated the victory for themselves, but more importantly, for their ailing head coach. Tonight, the Americans and the Canadians. Game 2 of the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV, part of Canada's international hockey tradition.
Here's a shot. Henderson made a wild stab for it, fell. Here's another shot. Right by the score.
Darryl Sittner.
Canada on the verge of winning the Canada Cup. It's all over. And the celebration is on here at the Northland Coliseum. On here. Andy Gretzky. First he put it on a 2-on-1 to Lemieux. And on goal. He scores.
CTV Sports is proud to present the 1991 Labatt Canada Cup. A jam-packed Copps Coliseum, pumped to the hilt as Team USA plays against Team Canada. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Copps Coliseum. I'm Rod Black. We're thrilled you could be with us. The last time this tournament visited this building was back in September of 1987 when Mario Lemieux's cup-clinching goal brought a nation to its feet. That won't happen this year, of course, because Super Mario isn't here. The cast of characters is much different than it was 4 years ago, but that doesn't mean the tournament has suffered. There is something distinct here. It's called parity, and anytime you can add that to the equation, what's the old saying? Anything can happen. With more, let's go to our play-by-play team. Here's John Davidson and Don Chevrier.
Thank you, Rod. Hello again, everybody. And let's face it, 2 goals, 2-2 tie with the Finns. Not good enough for hockey fans in this country. So what changes, John, can we expect from Team Canada?
Well, the Canadians didn't take anybody out of their lineup, Don, but they've added Theo Fleury. Fleury will play center ice with Mark Messier on the left side. Fleury was told this morning he would play, and with a smile on his face, he said, "That's it. I'm going home for lunch. I'm going to have a raw steak." He plays a spirited game. Al MacInnis was injured late in the first game of this series for the Canadians. There, his leg was bumped by the sliding Finn. He missed practice yesterday, but did skate this morning and will play a regular shift here for this game.
The Americans can certainly score. Got a 6-pack in their first game against Sweden. One line to watch is anchored by Jeremy Roenick.
That has Modano and Granato on the wings, Don, and it's a very, very quick line. Messier will be playing wing, but he will see a lot of ice against that line with Fleury. And, of course, Brent Sutter, one of the best defensive centers in the business. He'll see a lot of time against Roenick's line. And the thing to remember with Team USA, speed. A lot of speed, especially by their forwards and their defense who join the rush.
Bill Ranford's back in goal for Team Canada right now. Back to Rod Black and Bill Clement.
Bill, a team rocked with bad news the last couple of days, but good news tonight. Brett Hull will play.
Brett Hull will play. Pat LaFontaine will not play. I don't think it matters who they play. Mike Keenan this morning described Team USA to me as a team on a mission. And when I talked to the Team USA players who visited Bob Johnson in his hospital room after the game in Pittsburgh, he touched them on the arm. He wrote notes how to defend against Team Canada, how to stop Paul Coffey. Mike Keenan knows this will be an emotionally charged team still playing for their coach who's still in the hospital in Pittsburgh.
An emotionally charged arena behind us, too. Today, another upset. Soviet Union losing to Sweden 3-2 in Montreal. In Saskatoon, 17 seconds left when Finland beat Czechoslovakia 1-0. How about those Finns? They lead this tournament. Team USA could move into first place with a win over Canada tonight. Up next, the opening face-off. Opening ceremonies from Copps Coliseum, the Labatt Canada Cup.
21 Labatt Canada Cup is brought to you by Labatt's Blue. Now you're laughing.
Welcome back to Copps Coliseum in Hamilton. 2 teams that opened the tournament on different notes. Team Canada and Finland. Tonight, let's go to public address announcer Claude Mouton.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1991 Labatt's Canada Cup game between Team USA and Team Canada. Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir et bienvenue à ce match de la Coupe Canada Labatt 1991 entre l'équipe des États-Unis et l'équipe Canada. Voici maintenant l'alignement débutant pour l'équipe des États-Unis. Here is the Team USA starting lineups. In goal, dans les buts, number 1, le numéro 1, Mike Richter. En défense, à la défense, le numéro 20, number 20, Gary Suter. Number 26, le numéro 26, Chris Chelios. The forwards, les avants, number 7, le numéro 7, Joe Mullen. Number 12, le numéro 12, Ed Olchuk. Number 29, le numéro 29, Joel Otto. And now, the starting lineup for Team Canada. Maintenant, l'alignement débutant pour Équipe Canada. In goals, dans les buts, number 30, le numéro 30, Bill Brantford. En défense, à la défense, number 3, le numéro 3, Scott Stevens. Number 55, le numéro 55, Larry Murphy. The forwards, les avants, number 21, le numéro 21, Brent Sutter. Number 22, le numéro 22, Rick Tuckett. Number 27, le numéro 27, Shane Corson. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Canadian Tire represents Canadian Tire's commitment to actively support skill development, participation, fair play, and fun for hockey players of all ages across Canada. Now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the members of the official party for this ceremonial face-off. Representing Team Canadian Tire minor hockey player, he is Andrew Terpstra from the Dundas Minor Hockey Association. Representing Canadian Tire, représentant la compagnie Canadian Tire, assistant dealer, Mr. Derek Hicks. Representing Ontario Labatt's Brewery Limited, the Assistant District Sales Manager, Mr. Herb Newham. And the Mayor of the City of Hamilton, Ms. Worship, Mr. Bob Ball. Also participating in tonight's ceremonies is the Canadian hockey legend. Prenant part également à cette mise au jeu officielle, une légende canadienne du hockey. He played his junior hockey here in St. Catharines and in Hamilton. Played in the National Hockey League for the Detroit Red Wings, Los Angeles Kings, New York Rangers, and he's a top scorer in the history of the National Hockey League. Un des grands de la Ligue nationale de hockey, Marcel Dionne. It is the custom in international hockey. We would like to ask the captains of Team USA, Mr. Joel Otto, and Team Canada, Wayne Gretzky, to come to center ice for the official face-off. La mise au jeu officielle par les deux capitaines. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please now rise and join Mr. Giovanni C. for the singing of the national anthems of the United States of America and the Canadian national anthem. Voulez-vous maintenant, s'il vous plaît, vous lever, rejoindre Monsieur Giovanni C. pour l'hymne national des États-Unis et du Canada.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in of thy son's command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
A charged up crowd here in Copps Coliseum tonight. Up next, it's Canada and the United States. The Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Right off the faceoff, Canada presses the attack in the United States zone. Joel Otto tries to clear it for the United States. Back to the neutral zone. And Olchek now playing it back to Canada's blue line as Murphy has control. Murphy out there with Scott Stevens. Pass for Lindros. Drops it for Murphy. Shooting, hits the goal post. Richter grabs the rebound and the United States clears. A great early scoring chance right there denied. Off the goalpost, Shanahan with Harachuk. Don Koharski, the referee, will call the first penalty of the night against Tony Granato of the United States.
Don, a quick start for the Canadian team. They started with the Sutter line. They got it going. Joel Otto was nailed twice. Here's a shot that will rattle off the goalpost. Screen set up. Big Lindros going to the net, providing the screen. Mike Richter beaten to the glove side, but the goalpost was hit. The Canadians have shown more in the first minute here than what they showed during the entire Finnish game. Larry Murphy had moved up into the play. Penalty upcoming here as Granato reaches out, and you see him haul down Lindros. So the first two lines on the ice for Team Canada showing some true grit. Power play time. Canada was 0 for 2 in their first game. And with Mike Richter in goal for the Americans, he can stop anybody.
Here they come. Gretzky dumps it off to Larmer. Larmer a centering pass and Richter down to smother in the crease.
Don, yesterday, Team Canada practiced in Toronto. The first 5 minutes of practice didn't go the way Mike Keenan wanted. Mike Keenan threw his stick helicopter style into the stands to wake his teammates up, or his players up, and it looks like they've woken up. Tim Taylor is coaching along with Jay Leach and Mike Eaves and Joe Bertagna, the goaltending coach. As you see there, Tim Taylor is a thinking man's coach. He coaches at Yale University in the United States.
Fleury will take the draw for Canada against Joel Otto, his Calgary Flame teammate. Larmer on the right, Gretzky on the left. Gretzky's hand much improved, but they prefer him not to take face-offs for now.
Gretzky shot the puck a lot better today during the morning skate for Team Canada and commented how much of a difference 24 hours makes.
Power play is on the ice for Canada. Sliding around past Coffey. Now Fleury picks it up over on the far boards. For Coffey. His shot deflected off the net. Fleury. Gretzky. Gretzky off the back of the goal to Fleury. Left point Coffey. McInnes lets the shot go. That is blocked. Pressure remains. Coffey shooting. Blocked by the American defenders, and they clear the zone.
Good job by the American team not to allow a clean shot through, but credit Theo Fleury with 3 good passes. Concise, sharp, accurate passes in the offensive zone.
Larmer rink wide for McInnes. Drops it off inside the line. Takes it back again. Loose in front of the goal. They bang at it. Finally back to center it comes to Scott Stevens. Rink wide to Al McInnes. They change. Team Canada. Messier comes on the ice now. Larmer remains. McInnes getting it off to Courtnall. West Courtnall for Robitaille. Robitaille trying to clear it across to the far corner and couldn't find Messier. Al McInnes, about 2.5 minutes in, 35 seconds left on the Canadian power play. Team Canada works it ahead. Courtnall with Robitaille and Messier. Here's the shot by McInnes, blocked in front again. A lot of those drives do not ever get to Mike Richter. 20 seconds to go in the power play.
By the way, Bill Ranford is playing goal for Team Canada. He hasn't had any work yet. And he certainly deserves the start after his excellent first game against the Finnish team, a 2-2 tie.
The Roenick line is on the ice. Just 3 seconds left in the penalty. Murphy has it for Team Canada. Intercepted by Jeremy Roenick. Feeding it ahead for Madonna. Into the corner. Roenick waits for the pass in front. Intercepted. Team's back at full strength now. Past the 3-minute mark. Rick talking to the Philadelphia Flyers as Dirk Gray of Chicago with him with Murphy.
Mike Keenan has Brent Sutter's line on the ice right now to go opposite the Roenick line, and it's a line built with speed, a lot of speed.
Chelios back for it, and there'll be a face-off just outside the blue line. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
CTV's coverage of the 1991 Labatt Canada Cup is brought to you in part by your local bottlers of Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the real thing.
Young Eric Lindros ready for the face-off. Scoreless first period. 16.5 minutes to go. The United States has withstood the power play. Trussed by Canada. Eric Desjardins. Across to Steve Smith. Lindros now comes in. Pass in front and just failed to click to Shanahan. Ranford with the big goal stick stopping it for Steve Smith. Lindros. Number 39, Wolanin met him. And back to center ice it comes. Smith waits, shoots it in. Team Canada buzzing all around. A centering pass was intercepted by Wolanin of the Quebec Nordique.
Yeah, there was quite a collision between Lindros and Wolanin.
Here's Hull coming in, and the offside pass.
The Americans have lost Eric Weinrich. When Chelios shot the puck into the USA bench, he hit his teammate Eric Weinrich below the left ear, or right around the left ear, and he has gone to the locker room for repairs.
Well, Mike Richter, normally a stand-up goalie, hasn't had a chance to do much of that tonight. Bill Ranford gets a second start for Team Canada.
Watch for the Americans to keep the puck away from Ranford's catching hand. Team USA has a lot of respect, saying that Ranford has one of the quicker gloves in all of hockey regarding goaltenders, and they may try to keep the puck to the stick hand side.
Otto on the face-off against Corson. Larmer on his right. On his left is Wayne Gretzky. McInnes and Stevens on defense for Canada. And Gretzky waits on the left side while Larmer plays it ahead. The centering pass by Corson is broken up. This is Otto clearing it ahead for the United States. And Olczyk. He flips it down. Mullins in pursuit as they jam it down to the Canadian zone. McInnes. Gretzky. Relay on the left side for Corson, high off the glass. And it's whistled down.
Don, that was a 3-on-2 for Team Canada that didn't click, but it was because of the first pass by McInnes. A great, crisp First pass out of the zone, and with that pass, boom, it's a 3-on-2, yet it didn't click.
Approaching the 5-minute mark, scoreless game.
Take a look at the lines that the American team will use. That's that line with speed. They were responsible for 3 goals in game 1. There's the 3 lines, and they go with 2 extra forwards, Christian and Doug Brown. Brown did not dress for warm-up as he suffered from the flu, but he is dressed for the game.
Johnson shoots it ahead for the United States. And Don Koharski goes back to work with a slashing call just as the play went into the Canadian zone.
The slashing call on Steve Larmer. There's the defense pairings for Team USA. They have 6 dressed. Remember, Leach, Chelios, Suter, all great offensive defensemen, and Wolanin is dressed as a 7th. That's the same 7 they dressed for game 1. Not 6, but 7. There's Larmer in the penalty box, slashing the call.
Steve Larmer, 2 minutes for slashing at 4 minutes 54 seconds.
Don Ranford hasn't had any work yet. We're almost 5 minutes in, and it looks like now, with a power play against him, he may see his first real action.
Kevin Miller has got Hull and Modano on the ice on the power play. Gretzky out there to help kill it off for Team Canada. The linesman gets in the way, but the United States Ed Olczyk carries on now. Comes back on the point. Suter waits for the pass. It goes the other way. Back for Chelios. Chelios trying to get it to Suter. It's intercepted by Messier. And Messier gets it ahead to Wayne Gretzky. McInnes. His shot is blocked by Suter. Chelios in the American corner. Gretzky gets a break. Team Canada changes. The United States back to center ice with it. Long lead pass fails to click. Scott Stevens into the corner. They bump in there. Modano passing it out. Intercepted. Team Canada will kill a few more seconds off now with Dirk Graham passing to Courtnall. Then all the way back for Smith and Desjardins inside the Team Canada blue line. The penalty has been half killed. 6 minutes have gone by in the first period of scoreless hockey. Intercepted in there.
It's one area that Mike Richter is not great at, and that's handling the puck away from his goal net. He's a great goaltender, but that's his weakest area.
Rodick lets it fly, and there's a great save by Bill Ranford off the pads. Hard blast. There's Chelios being dogged by Courtnall. Suter now sends the United States away inside the blue line. 30 seconds to go on the penalty, and that's broken up. Number 4 is Kevin Hatcher of the Washington Capitals. Ahead to Craig Janney of the Boston Bruins. That failed to materialize. Canada doing a good job with just 13 seconds to go in the American power play.
Only giving up to 1 shot, Don, and that was that longer shot that Ranford was forced into making a good save, but just a 1 shot over now what is 2 minutes.
And the gate is open. Larmer's back on the ice. The teams are at full strength. They've each killed off a power play opportunity. Larmer on the near boards for Canada, being watched by Otto. Leach can't contain it. McInnes shoots it past him. Fleury and Hatcher heavily into the boards. There'll be a delayed call here. Koharski, the referee, has got his arm raised.
That's all Theo Fleury, his spark going after Kevin Hatcher.
Now they finally whistle it down. Those two had quite a match going all the way into the corner. Still scoreless. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. So Kevin Hatcher, after jousting with Fleury, gets a high sticking penalty.
There's some action here, a difference of about 6 inches. Fleury upset that he was held up. Watch him take a run at Hatcher, and Hatcher will react with a stick right across the side of the head of Fleury, knocking him down. That's what Fleury's put into the lineup for, to add spark, and there he drew a penalty.
The referee is from Canada, Don Koharski. The linesman from the United States, Kevin Collins, and from Finland, Kim Phil. They expect McInnes, slight injury or no, to see a lot of ice time. He has already again tonight. He starts the play. They form it up right to Eric Lindros inside the blue line. Number 88, Lindros, and Robitaille gets it back from the LA King. Here's the shot from McInnes, screen, but off target. Robitaille tries to pass it in front, saving it for Gretzky. Lemaster makes the play, and Team Canada scores. Eric Lindros, 1-0 for Canada.
He got himself into good position. Gretzky waits, and look at that little pass, setting up a 2-on-1 in front with Lindros and Robitaille. Amazing play by Gretzky. Robitaille's off the net. He knows where Lindros is. Mike Richter with no chance, and it's a power play goal. And it was Theo Fleury with his play that led to that power play.
Young Lindros now with a goal and an assist in Canada Cup play. The assist to Gretzky and Robitaille. And apparently Lindros said just today that he's quite happy to play junior hockey for 2 more years.
Don, I don't think he's going to go to Quebec. I think he's going to wait this thing out. I don't think you'll see him in a Quebec Nordique uniform. He's going to go to York University. He's already enrolled for 2 business courses, along with playing junior hockey in Oshawa, maybe playing the World Juniors, and maybe the Olympics for Canada.
Janney now can't find Miller inside the blue line. He goes down. Team Canada eager to form up the power play. The United States trying to keep the puck inside Team Canada's zone for as long as they can. Kevin Miller of Detroit, some good body work in the corner. Now finally it comes out over the blue line, but Leach is there to keep it back in. A 1-0 hockey game for Team Canada on the Eric Lindros goal. Fleury shoots it into the corner. It was the Hatcher penalty. High-sticking Fleury that led to the goal. Pass in front just fails to connect. Russ Korkl with it now. Corson will leave the ice. Passing it in behind for Fleury. Here's the pass in front for Howard-Chuck. Hatcher ties him up and turns him around. But he keeps the puck going to Fleury. Trapped at the blue line and kept in by Team Canada.
Don, through 9 minutes, the Americans have not been able to get any offense going. And when that happens, that means their defense is pressured, and their defense to this point has not been able to join the offensive rush. But they can explode.
Here's Modano going in, centering it for Roenick, and they just failed to score there. Great chance for the United States. Team Canada's Korkl back. His wide ankle shot goes wide of Richter. Korkl taking down Roenick. Hard-hitting, fast-paced action between these two, nearing the midway point of the first period. Hatcher passing it ahead. Center ice, Desjardins for Canada. Near side, Tocchet accepts the pass, the blue line. In he goes, dropping it, and Robitaille's weak rolling shot could not elude Richter. Olczyk for the United States with Mullen. Tocchet steals it. Tocchet trying to break in. Drops it back. Howard-Chuck, or Robitaille it was with a shot. Falling as he let it go. Tocchet across to Robitaille. Centers it out. Hops over the stick, and Otto has it.
Canada absolutely controlling the neutral zone, turning the puck from defense into offense to this point. If I was Tim Taylor, I'd even think about a timeout, because Canada is just rolling here.
Suter at the blue line makes his pass to Otto. It's intercepted and cleared by Steve Larmer. Now Chris Chelios. Larmer has it. Gretzky. Lindros breaks for the net. Larmer going in. Backhands it. Richter saves that. Chelios collects the rebound. As Lindros checks him and hounds him up to center ice.
That's the area right there, Don. Another neutral zone turnover.
Here comes Gretzky, drops it to Lindros, and he shoots on the deflection by Suter wide. 8:45 left. Virtually non-stop action here as Canada presses for a second goal. They've kept the United States on balance the last 5 minutes. Larmer takes a good check. Back from number 32, Kevin Miller, and goes down, but play carries right on. Here's McInnes. Pass Gretzky for Larmer. Intercepted by Jim Johnson of the Minnesota North Stars. Now Craig Janney comes away. 2-on-2 with Miller. Drops it to Miller. Miller setting, shooting. It never passed the defense. Almost 12 minutes gone. Still 1-0 for Team Canada on the power play goal by Lindros. Messier from the angle. Off Johnson, skate wide. Johnson bunches Messier. Picked up by number 27, Shane Corson. Delayed penalty here. It'll be against Team Canada.
I think Mark
Dono shooting it in.
Pardon me, Don. I think Mark Messier will get the call. It was a penalty in the offensive zone. Slashing's a call. 52.
So, power play advantage for the U.S. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Team Canada's penalty number 11, Mark Messier.
Mark Messier slashing at 12-12 of this opening period. Johnson picked him off, and Mark Messier reacts with Johnson, pulling the helmet off. They continue to joust. And there's this, well, there's the top of the stick. Messier's in the penalty box.
Not the most flagrant slashing penalty you'll ever see.
The headlock wasn't bad prior to that, though.
An attempted mugging, perhaps.
The way this game has gone, the power play for Team USA better have a strong night, because at even strength, they've been dominated to this point.
Al Hull is on the ice. He's still favoring a tender knee over on the near side. Chelios lets the blast go, and finding it is Ranford to smother any rebound.
Don, the thought was that Brett Hull may play only power play in this game. He's had problems with the knee that he injured in that Swedish game, their opening game, their win. He then tried to skate yesterday, left partially through practice. This morning did skate, but said that probably would see primarily power play time. And he is needed, of course, when they get into a game like this, where the Canadian team has been running and gunning so far. Hull's power play knowledge is needed.
Unofficially, Team Canada's outshot the United States 8-3.
And missed the net with another 8.
Chris Chelios now trying to form up the power play opportunity for the United States. Trying to scoop it across to Suter. It's intercepted. Here is Sutter with Graham. Graham shooting, and Rector turns that away. Madano now with Olczyk. He dumped it inside the line for Hull. They can't get it to him, and it's cleared by Team Canada.
It's like Dirk Graham is used primarily as a penalty killer by Mike Keenan for this game.
Gary Suter of the Calgary Flames engineers the play. A wide ankle shot, fine save, rebound comes out. Oh, a great scoring chance there for Hull. And he was turned aside by Ranford. Here comes Gretzky now with Larmer, 2-on-1. The pass to Larmer, he scores!
Billy Ranford right there robs Brett Hull. Team Canada moves up ice as Chelios can't handle a puck. It's a 2-on-1. And can Larmer finish? Up top, over top of Mike Richter on a wonderful pass. Look at the puck get through to Larmer by Gretzky. Gretzky had to thread it through Sutter. He didn't. Put it on Steve Larmer's stick. Larmer scores a shorthanded goal, and for Team Canada, it's been specialty team play here. A power play goal and a shorthanded goal.
And Wayne Gretzky has engineered them both. 6.5 minutes to go. 2-0 for Team Canada. Hatcher bumped on the boards. Sutter against Hatcher. Janney tries to help out now. Sutter against 2 U.S. players is winning the battle so far. Now Hatcher has it. Larmer getting Canada's second goal while shorthanded. Now Koharski whistles down another play. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. Kevin Hatcher will go to the penalty box for the Americans again. Slashing now.
Mark Messier still has 21 seconds left in his penalty. Wayne Gretzky had to put the puck through Gary Suter. What a pass. I mean, he waited, delayed, timed it perfectly, and put it through the legs of Gary Suter. Hatcher, right, gets a double minor. He skated over to Koharski and had some words and was given an additional minor for those words. So in 21 seconds, Team Canada will have a long power play.
I'm saying long because my math isn't that.
There's subtraction.
Well, Messier's penalty did not hurt Team Canada. Now with these 2 minors to Hatcher, Team Canada's got a chance to break this wide open. They lead 2-0 with 6:08 to go. Fleury against Otto on the faceoff. Coffey, Harchuk, and Desjardins are soon to be joined by Messier in 11 seconds out of the Hamilton Copps Coliseum penalty box. It goes to the corner. Shot ahead at center ice. Weinrich back on the ice after that cut he suffered early in the period. 5 seconds in Messier's penalty. And then Team Canada will have a power play starting right now. They bring it down to the U.S. zone. Wide ankle shot is redirected by Richter. Desjardins on the boards takes a bump. Play is in the American corner. Eric Desjardins battling with Joel Otto. Centers it out. Nobody there, and the United States clears. Tony Granato firing it down the ice. 5 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the first period. The pass to Harchuk. Messier with him and Fleury. Fleury now dumps it down into the corner for Harchuk. Messier helps out. Number 24 for the United States out there's checking. Team Canada still in control.
Chelios will take a penalty now, Don. He got...
Here's a chance for Desjardins, but it hopped over his stick.
Chelios got his stick up into the face of one of the Canadian players.
They score. Harchuk.
It's another power play goal. Watch Harchuk stand in front. He's being checked and marked, but he just stays there, and the Americans release from him. The puck will get put in front. Fleury, I believe, got it in front, and Harchuk scores to make it a 3-0 Canadian lead. Harchuk is checked. Chelios watches Fleury. Fleury gets it in front and puts the puck through his second effort shot in behind Mike Richter.
So one penalty comes down, but still, no, they put it up again. 2:47 left in Hatcher's sentence.
There was a delayed penalty coming up to the Americans at the time.
Now check that. The one penalty has gone down, and the other one remains. He still got his 2 minutes
right.
to serve.
It starts fresh at 2 minutes.
3-0 for Team Canada.
Number 10 in the building, Team Canada, compté le numéro 10, Dale Harchuk. Assisted by number 14, avec l'aide du numéro 14, Théorème Fleury.
Here's Lindros breaking in. He shoots it wide.
Mark Messier. At 15 minutes 5 seconds.
Lindros again for Larmer. Gretzky behind the net accepts the pass. Centers it all the way back to Smith. His shot, and Larmer failed to redirect it. The United States in a big hole now. Trailing 3-0, a little over 4 minutes to go in the opening period.
The Canadians have kept the tempo up. The Canadians are getting to the majority of the loose pucks. And that's one of the main reasons why you see a 3-0 score.
Gretzky tried to feed Larmer. Weinrich breaks it up. McInnes rink wide left side for Lindros. A bump to Brown from McInnes from behind. Doug Brown is number 24. Weinrich backhands it at the bench. Then takes a poke at the Canadian player. The linesman separates them and play goes on. Here's Coffey. Gretzky trails inside the line. Coffey sweeps it in front. And Shanahan couldn't get any wood on it. Christian The only member of the 80 U.S. Olympic team still with Team USA in the Canada Cup. Shanahan into the far corner, swings around behind, tries to feed Gretzky, but it's intercepted and cleared. 26 seconds left now in Hatcher's second penalty. It's been a costly night for Hatcher and Team USA from the penalty box. Shanahan playing it by Leach, and they whistle it down at the blue line of the United States. Labatt's Blue Player of the Game for Team USA will be awarded a unique Inuit sculpture courtesy of Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire supports skills development, participation, fair play, and fun in communities across Canada. The spirit of hockey, Team Canadian Tire.
Still 17 seconds remaining in the penalty minutes to Hatcher. 3:11 remaining in the period, and Canada enjoying a 3-0 lead.
A little over 3:05 now it is. Murphy shooting, and that is why. Canadians buzzing all around the United States zone, looking for a fourth goal here. A beleaguered United States team finally gets arrested and clears as Hatcher steps back on the ice.
Don, Canada is playing the way they practiced in Toronto yesterday. Once Mike Keenan got their attention, it was a very, very intense, well-executed practice, and they just kept that tempo right up here.
This is Murphy against Badano. Play at center ice. And in by Stevens. Canada changing on the fly now. Less than 2.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Ryan Leach to the New York Rangers for Madonna. To Granato, the ex-Ranger, now the Los Angeles Kings, and he shoots it back to the Team Canada zone. Shane Corson of the Montreal Canadiens with it now against his teammate Chelios, being watched by number 21 Tony Granato and taken down. And Jeremy Rennick has it. Rennick, not really a major force as the United States can't generate any offense, it seems. 2 minutes to go. Chelios for Suter.
Americans have generated about 3 good scoring chances this period. Bill Ranford has had little work, but on those 3 chances, he's just been excellent. The ice here, with the air conditioning in the building, there is no air conditioning in Toronto, I think has made a difference. Canada has moved the puck well with some better passing on this real solid ice.
Suter with less than a minute and a half to go. Craig Janney. Now Brown. Hull. Used sparingly in the first period. Desjardins behind the net. No sustained attack for the United States. Their thrusts are quickly broken up by Team Canada. Playing with great confidence now, enjoying a 3-0 lead with a minute to play in the first period. Messier picks it up and feeds Fleury left side. Graham on his right, 2-on-1, in they go. The shot deflected up among the spectators with 52 seconds left. 3-0 Canada. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
The surprises continue at the Labatt Canada Cup. CTV golf analyst Jim Nelford will be by to give us a Canadian Open preview. We'll have a CTV sports break, and we'll be joined by our hockey analyst, Bill Clement.
Maybe Jim Nelford could help us out a little bit too, huh? Maybe a couple of lessons, you know what I'm saying? You notice Gretzky and Lindros have been together a fair amount in this first period. They scored a goal, Lindros did, on a pass from Gretzky on the power play, involving Gretzky along with Robitaille, but they played together and played well on the same line, Don.
Shot to the United States corner. Lannon with it. Olczyk can't get the pass left side. Off the boards. Olczyk has it now at the point. Beating Mullen, and a great scoring chance right there. Ranford out of position, scrambles back in time. Still 3-0 Canada, 20 seconds to go. Back they come. Scott Stevens circling across the crease, it rolls. Gretzky, his centering pass, the legs of Will Allen to Lindros. Lindros feeding it back on the point. Here's the shot by Stevens. 2 seconds to go, and that will do it for a first period dominated by Team Canada.
Once it got to be 3-0, the Canadians did not stop. I think the interesting question now is Mike Richter will have to get some rest. Will Team Canada relax in the dressing room after attaining a 3-0 lead after one period? They shouldn't.
We'll see. This is from Hamilton, the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
In Montreal, Sweden, and the Soviet Union, Mats Naslund to Mats Sundin. The Quebec Nordique star beats Mikhail Stalnikov. Sweden makes it 2-0. Sundin beats Thomas Rundqvist, who buries the backhand. Soviets storm back. Alexei Zamnov, a Winnipeg Jet draft pick, makes it 2-1. Then follow the bouncing puck. Tommy Soderstrom, the Swedish goalie, has all kinds of trouble with this. Alexander Semak is left all alone in front. He ties the game up at 2. 3:54 left. Thomas Sandstrom with a blistering rocket. The Swedes win 3-2. They move to 1-1. The Soviets a surprising 0-2. In Saskatoon, 17 seconds left. Look what happens. The puck off a Czechoslovakian stick. Finland wins thanks to a goal by Teemu Selänne. And thanks, the story again, to Marcus Ketterer, stopping 30. Finland stuns Czechoslovakia 1-0. They are the tournament surprise so far. They sit alone in first place, pending the outcome of tonight's game between the United States and Canada. Lindros at 7:48 from Gretzky and Robitaille. Steve Larmer had his first goal. Dale Hawerchuk getting the power play goal as well. Canada out shooting the United States 12-6 in that opening frame.
CTV's coverage of the 1991 Labatt Canada Cup is being brought to you in part by Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire is a proud sponsor of Canada Cup. There's a lot more to Canadian Tire than tires.
Well, Team Canada controlled most of the play in the opening period. We'll see what happens in the second frame now. We're ready to begin. Let's go to our play-by-play team up in the booth. Don Chevrier and John Davidson.
Thank you, Rod. Very impressive performance, to say the least, by Team Canada, and this American team had better regroup around Mike Richter and do it in a hurry.
For Team USA, they only had 6 shots, only one by a defenseman, and that was a shot by Chelios. For Team Canada, they had 12, only one by a defense. The Canadian forwards were rolling. Ranford with another strong period. Mike Keenan, after game 1 of the tournament for Canada, suggested that Messier, Ranford, and Desjardins were the best 3 players. Ranford has really kept it going. And this kid, he was very disappointed that he did not score on a breakaway against Finland. Thought he played well defensively, but he loved to score. Here, you saw him in action in the first period. He was outstanding.
Got his first Canada Cup goal to go with his first assist against Finland Saturday night. What a major story by Finland here. The tie from Canada, and today a win over Czechoslovakia. 1-0.
Ketterer, the goaltender, gets it done. We mentioned he's a free agent, but since he's a European, he cannot go to a National Hockey League team's camp. Europeans have got to be drafted before they can go as a free, or pardon me, as a player to camps. It's not that way if you're a North American player. A little strange in the rules, huh?
Little. Chelios, as it comes over to Mullen here. Too far for him inside the Team Canada blue line. It is obvious that the Americans need a quick goal to recharge and get back into this game. Mullen plays it on the left side. Off old check stick. He gets turned around over in the far corner by Corson. Picked up by Stevens of Canada, and they clear the zone. Tocchet in pursuit. Suter gets there first. Gary Suter of the Calgary Flames. Past Otto and back to center ice. Very few sustained attacks by Team USA, as their half-dozen shots on Ranford in the first period would indicate. 3-0 Team Canada, about a minute into the second period of the second Canada Cup game for both teams. Shot in across the zone, and it'll come back for a face-off right beside Ranford on the icing call, which is done automatically under international rules.
He's not the tallest, but as he played big, we saw that in the first period. Spent part of his off-season fishing, salmon fishing up the coast of British Columbia with a teammate by the name of Doug Gilmore. Look at Fleury. That's the aggressiveness we're talking about. A fine hit. Uses a lot of leg drive with his hits, Don, when he goes into the bodies. Caught himself a salmon around 55 pounds when he went on that trip. I saw a photo of it. with Fleury holding the salmon, and I'm not going to tell you which one was taller. And it wasn't Fleury.
I know which one was tougher.
Doug Gilmour, his teammate, went, a famous American leaguer by the name of Brian Carlin with him. They had some fun.
Roenick on the faceoff for the United States. Against the diminutive one.
You know, with that type of play from Fleury taking the body, that tells you that the Canadians will keep their intensity up, even though they're enjoying a 3-goal lead. Penalty upcoming to Steve Smith.
United States goalie is on his way out, and they're going to have a few extra seconds here if they can maintain possession before the official power play begins. And that'll do it right there. Intercepted by Fleury at center ice. So Team USA will go on the attack. It'll be a holding penalty. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Canadian zone, and Roenick got to the loose puck. And you see Steve Smith pulling Roenick off balance. One hand on the stick. So the Americans will have a chance to try and climb back into this thing.
They have not been strong tonight. Just 2 for 6 in the Canada Cup Series on power plays. They beat Sweden 6-3 in their first game.
Interesting line combination here for the Americans. Modano on the right, Kevin Miller, who can play all 3 forward positions, goes to center ice. And of course Brett Hull on the ice.
Interesting that Gretzky took what may have been his first faceoff just now.
Of the tournament, correct. That tells you that that hand, though after watching him play in the first period, Don, it was obvious that hand is much, much better.
That's got to be good news for Canada. Gretzky trying to kill off this penalty. He set up 2 beautiful goals tonight. Here's Modano with it now on the near boards for the United States. They take their time. Slap shot is blocked and cleared down the ice by Stevens. Smith in the penalty box for holding. Intercepted by Larmer. Into the corner for Gretzky. The bouncing puck he can't contain. It's picked up by Kevin Miller. Dumped off on the right boards. Leach with it. Back for Miller. Back for Hull. Hull trying to get a flat puck to shoot. It rolls too far. It hops back to the neutral zone with a minute now to go. It's Smith's penalty. Team Canada, 3 first period goals, leads 3-0. Just past the 2-minute mark here. On the left side, this is Miller. Dropping it off. Getting it once again is Hull with it. Pushing it back to Leach. Leach winding for the pass. Pretty play to Miller. Great save by Ranford. Rebound kicked away. And back to the neutral zone it comes. Ryan Leach gets checked by Harachuk. Feeds Graham. He's alone in there as Team Canada's changing. He'll take it back outside the zone. Then pass to Harachuk. He goes in alone and slides it across the crease. 15 seconds left in the American power play. Roenick down to the corner. McKinnon tries to tip it out. Gets it across to Corson, and they finally clear it over the blue line. Just 5 seconds to go now, and Team Canada has killed off another penalty to maintain this lead. Lead past the blue line. Janney sweeping in there along with Mullen. Intercepted by Smith just back from the penalty box. Lindros failing to hold it against Roenick. Centering pass in front. Koharski will go back to work again as the United States player was driven into the net. Craig Janney, there'll be another holding call. This is the Labatt Canada Cup from Hamilton on CTV. Period. Paul Coffey gets it.
It was a good hit by Roenick there to knock the puck away from Lindros, and that forced Paul Coffey to come back and think defense. And there you see the hold in front, taking away the scoring chance. Roenick set it up with a good hit on Big Eric.
Otto's got Leach top of the circle. Mullen to his left. Olchek to his right. Back on the point is Gary Suter. Once again, they try to capitalize on a power play opportunity. Canada breaks out quickly with it. Sliding it back to the United States zone for Suter to collect. Suter will come straight ahead now. Second Team USA power play of period 2, trailing 3-0, almost 4 minutes in. On the near boards, Canada clears rather easily again.
Don, the last 2 power plays, including this one, Roenick was on the ice when the penalty was handed out. So he's missing the initial portion of these power plays. That's their best offensive centerman who doesn't start the power plays.
Suter behind his net. Brings it forward again. 1:15 to go in Coffey's penalty. U.S. backing up for the most part, or held off in the neutral zone as they try to get something going on their power plays. Gretzky intercepts, clearing again for Team Canada. Now Brian Leetch. He's turned back by Al MacInnis, the blue line. Brett Hull is on the ice. 45 seconds to go in the power play. Long lead pass. Modano's shot goes wide. It's deflected off target. Up on the boards. Force it in there. Stevens. Miller coming up with him from the United States. The bouncing puck going back to the corner from Modano. Modano now getting it back. Here's Suter. Suter will let the slap shot go. That's blocked by MacInnis. 18 seconds to go in the power play. And the Canadians clear the zone.
Is Brett Hull ever complaining to the referee? He got flattened by MacInnis before the shot was taken by the point.
5 seconds to go. The puck throws under players in the fireboards.
As things heat up, Corson with a big hit. Don, the puck was back towards the American blue line, and Brett Hull, when he lines up, likes to line up high in the slot, and he paid for it as he was banged. He complained all the way up the ice to the referee, Kaharski, but nothing was called.
Boy, Howie, horse, work, Reds. Good kill, boys. Work.
We have Brett Hull here. He's going to try and line himself up in this area when the point man back here gets the shot. Now, as we see the play develop, we'll roll it. Hull will skate up high into the slot, establish position. Now, if we hold it, there's MacInnis moving in. Hull loves to deflect the puck from that area, even though there's open people in here. But watch MacInnis flatten him. Boom! Right in front. Now the shot's taken, and with Hull on the ice, he can't deflect the puck.
Lindros on the face-off, wins it. A second left in Coffey's penalty. He returns. Team Canada's killed off another United States power play. They're not looking very good when they have the advantage, the Americans. It's whistled on here in the offside across the blue line.
I'm a little surprised. Roenick didn't see very much ice time at all on the power play. Very surprising. Roenick having words right now with Lindros.
This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. Two of them set up brilliantly by Wayne Gretzky. Lead 3-0 here, about 6 minutes into the second period.
Asked Roenick today if there was a Team Canada center iceman that bothers him when he plays against him. It's tough to play against. He said, yeah, Theo Fleury. They're head-to-head this shift.
Check by Roenick on Murphy. Intercepted by Chelios. Feeding it in front. A great chance there. Shot wide by Granato. Fleury passing it ahead for Canada. Murphy from center ice shoots it right on Richter. Chelios gathering in the rebound. Fleury, a quick little shot from the right, and Richter had to be quick on that.
Fleury, I don't think, got everything he wanted to in that shot. It was a surprise, I think, to him too. The Americans, for the first time in the game, threw some solid body checks in the offensive zone, Don, and that led to a scoring chance. See here, there's Roenick with a big hit. Now you're going to see another hit. Boom, right there. All of a sudden, you start to think there's a problem coming up. There's a step up by the defenseman to pinch and keep the puck in. A scoring chance, yet they didn't connect with a good shot by Granato. But that's the first time in the game thus far that the Americans have generated some solid hitting and defense pinching nicely to get themselves a scoring chance.
The frustration showing on the faces of those United States players. Canada has shut them down at every turn. Otto loses this face-off to Sutter.
And the penalty coming up there, and Shanahan nailed Weinrich face first, hitting from behind, and Don Kaharski put the arm up right away. So this will be
Weinrich say to him, that was stupid. You could lip read him right there, and it probably was. So another power play. This is the Labatt Canada Cup from Hamilton on CTV.
Glass gets nailed from behind in the National Hockey League. That's a major. That's 5 minutes and out of the game. I mean, that's no man's land for Weinrich. He's standing about 4 feet off the boards. Shanahan kept the stick down, his elbows down, but the player was defenseless. And in the National Hockey League, that's a major.
Oh, a cheap shot to be sure. At 13.5 minutes to go in the second period, another power play opportunity. But Canada dominating in here now with a shot by Sutter. McInnes will rattle it around in the United States zone a little bit longer. Chelios on the left side collects it. Rink wide pass over here for Modano. He passes to an open corner. Hull tries to tap it in behind the goal. Miller can't make the pass out in front. Team Canada so strong, killing off penalties tonight. Chelios can't keep it in. Back it comes.
Good offensive, or pardon me, good set of penalty killing forwards with Graham and Sutter on the ice. And once again, I'll mention that Graham has not played much at regular shift, but penalty killing wise, he's been very strong.
Larmer intercepting at center ice. Gretzky has it with Larmer inside the line. Gretzky forced off on the far boards. Modano intercepting for the United States. A minute left. It's Shanahan's penalty for boarding. Chelios through him onto the stick of Hull with Miller at the line. Turned back there, and Gretzky gives it back to Modano. Now Modano's pass for Hull fails to click. Americans keep it in. Ronan, Hull shooting. They score.
Too many men on the ice, Don. The Americans made a terrible, terrible, terrible line change. And they ended up with 6 skaters along with their goaltender, and they'll get themselves a penalty. They made a dreadful line change and got caught. And instead of a power play goal, the teams will be at even strength. Kevin Collins spotted it and called it, and he was absolutely right.
Tim Taylor, the coach from Yale, very frustrated by that.
Count the white jerseys. The white jerseys, we see 3 there. Another one there, that makes 4. Another one 5, and another one 6. 6 white jerseys. I mean, that's not even close. They were all involved in the middle of the ice surface, and it's a correct call on a bad line change.
No goal, and to make it worse, the United States penalty for too many men on the ice.
I'm quite sure when Tim Taylor sees the tape and counts the players, you'll notice how obvious it was.
37 seconds. Le but n'est pas joué alors que l'équipe des États-Unis avait un nombre de trop de recevoir une punition mineure de blanc à l'équipe américaine à 7 minutes 37 secondes.
Strange turn of events here for the United States, and when things like that happen, when you get your power play shut down as completely as they have, you get the message, this may not be your night.
Well, for Gretzky, showing his stuff, penalty killing, power play, even strength, and what started off as a bad day for him as his football team, the Toronto Argonauts, were defeated today by the Hamilton Tiger Cats, so he's turned his day around.
They were more than defeated, 48-24. They were humiliated here. Hamilton's first win. Harchuk battling on the boards with Granato. Canada brings it away again. Corson inside the blue line from Desjardins, sweeping in front, and there's a goal by Scott Stevens. Team Canada.
Scott Stevens joins the play. The first even strength goal of this hockey game. The 2 forwards are in. It's Stevens makes an additional man. He's not picked up by anybody. Watch Team USA. Watch the man with the puck. In the middle, it's Scott Stevens, and bang. With Corson on the puck, Don, 2 American defense watched him move. As soon as Corson drew the 2 defensemen, Corson set the puck up in front, and it was an easy play for Scott Stevens.
Hatcher for Hull. And Janney on the pass. Called on the offside by the linesman from Finland.
Scott Stevens has been moving into the play a lot in this game, especially when he's been on the ice with Wayne Gretzky. This is a reverse angle. Look at this. He gets into the middle and he stays away from traffic. Stick on the ice. Perfect pass. Easy play. Pretty good shot. And you know, Scott Stevens, Don, he may end up in a New Jersey Devils uniform. He's up in the this arbitration case with Shanahan, and there's a chance, if the league rules through the arbitrator, that Scott Stevens may be going tomorrow when the decision comes down to New Jersey as compensation for Brendan Shanahan. Very, very interesting 24 hours coming up for St. Louis, for New Jersey, and for Scott Stevens.
A lot of interesting things within the National Hockey League brewing these days. As the Canada Cup continues, and Larmer is sent away almost home free. He shoots, couldn't get much on it. Check from behind as the shot was about to be released. And Otto has it for the United States inside the Canadian blue line. His wide-angle shot is off the mark. Doug Brown serving the penalty now, remains in the box. Here's Gretzky. Gretzky to number 18, Shanahan. It's 5-0.
Don, when you're killing a penalty and you miss the net, you trap everybody. Watch Otto miss the net from a bad angle. Trap 3 people. Look at Hatcher, Mullen, Otto. They're all trapped. It's a 3-on-1 the other way. And when Gretzky's got the puck, there's trouble. Shanahan just finished the play. He positioned himself to face Gretzky. Gretzky with a perfect pass. And the Canadians are rolling.
Here's Janney, bodied by McKinnon. Suter with it now for Hull, and he shoots wide. The United States has dug themselves into a 5-0 hole. All around the crease, but Canada clears. And your point's well taken, John. When you fire it that hard and miss, you couldn't headman the puck and clear it any faster.
The key is you can't miss the net from a bad angle when everybody's thinking offense. And when that happens, you just end up trapping everybody. Otto was on the puck, Don, and we'll try and take a look here. Otto's on the puck, and you'll see these guys moving in. They're all thinking offense. And as he misses the net, he traps himself and the other 2 players. The puck swirls around, and Gretzky starts to lick his chops. Now, when we get to the other end of the ice, stop it here. Look at Shanahan, turn around. Gretzky's got to put the puck behind him to hit the blade so he can one motion the shot. Boom. That's all it takes when 99 has that much time.
Instrumental in 3 of the Team Canada goals tonight. The leader, the captain, Gretzky's getting it done. Off the face-off, the whistle sounds again quickly in the Team Canada zone.
Beal Fleury penalty coming up.
So the United States will try one more time on the power play. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. 2 of the second period. Canada can afford penalties here for now leading 5-0, but he is in the center of things once again. It's the rug pulled out from under him for the short jab he threw.
He's going to have to carry an apple box around with him, I think, to stand on if he's going to pick on guys a lot taller.
He is a scrappy little combatant.
Well, he said he was going to eat a raw steak for lunch. He must have.
Graham sends it down the ice to take some pressure off Team Canada.
So Mike Richter's had no chance at all here. But maybe we'll see some John Van Beesbrook action in goal as the score is one-sided.
Here's Olczyk, passing in front for Hall. He just deflected it over top of the goal past the falling Ranford. Just missed there. Richter stopping it for his teammate Brian Leetch of the New York Rangers. Long lead pass at center ice. They work it inside the line. Stevens clears, Leetch keeps it in. Flips a weak shot to the corner. Madano for Hull. Team Canada clears again. Shot by Stevens down the ice. About a minute left in Fleury's penalty. Past the halfway mark. In the second period, the halfway mark of the hockey game, and Canada leads 5-0. Roenick sidesteps a check, gets it back from Janney, and hits the mesh on the outside of the net. Suter managed to keep it on the line and in play, but here comes Team Canada once again. McInnes for Corson. Makes a bad pass back. Hull intercepting for the United States ahead to Ronak. Inside the line for Janney, and it's an offside call.
The Canadians' penalty killing all through this game has been very, very aggressive. They're going at Team USA all over the place. Gretzky's getting stronger as this game moves along. And Don, he did something he's never done before. He hired a personal trainer in Los Angeles. He worked out with this guy for a month, 2.5 hours a day. He said it's improved his endurance. This is the same guy that trained Mike Powell, who just set the world record in the long jump, breaking Bob Beeman's record. Wayne also at the same time had his brother Brent live with him in Los Angeles, and he worked out too. So Gretzky, noting that he's getting older, is working harder to stay one of the best, or maybe the best.
Here is Hatcher centering it for the United States, and they get their first goal. Janney pops it in on the setup of the defenseman Hatcher, 5-1.
This is a power play goal for the American team. Janney had 3 points in game 1 of this tournament for Team USA. Their Hatcher powers his way into the zone, and from that point, the Americans flood the front. 4 different players, including Janney, and Janney's the man that got to the loose puck. Hatcher with a strong play to get through Stevens and into the zone, and the puck will come back to Janney, and Ranford, with all that traffic, I don't think saw it. So we have a 5-1 game now. A lot of specialty team goals.
Hatcher playing it ahead for Otto.
Team USA's goals.
Team Canada shooting into the United States corner. 9 minutes to go in the second period. Janney from Hatcher. Here's Gretzky from behind the net now. Granato also an assist on that American goal. Gretzky looks to make his play. Wheels in front. Whistle sounds. They whistle it down before the shot by Gretzky. Kaharski with a call in the corner. And now Otto starts to mix it up in there
with Lindros.
Lindros on top of it.
Now, this no fighting allowed in this tournament. International hockey rules. You get into a fight, the initiator of the fight is tossed. If the person retaliates in a fight, he could also be tossed. But I believe the first penalty here was upcoming to Team Canada, an interference call on the offensive zone. That was the original, I believe.
Well, I think it's probably happening here. These teams played each other so often in 5 exhibition games. There are some ongoing grudges. There's some feelings that have carried over here because they are not sticking to hockey.
Larmer and Lindros, the penalty. I think the original was going to Larmer. You're going to see, and right here, Hatcher get pulled down. Larmer's trying to hold up Hatcher as Gretzky had the puck. It's a smart play if you don't get caught. Now Lindros goes over to Otto after Otto was having words with Gretzky. Hey, you gotta love that. When your best player is having words with the opposition, you go over and look after your asset. For an 18-year-old kid, he did a pretty good job of it.
He's so big and strong, he just bowled Otto over.
You gotta love that in a kid. That's things you look for when you scout hockey players. Players that look after your teammates and such. Messier now having words. Messier, by the way, very stiff today after playing all that ice time in game 1.
So an extra penalty goes Canada's way. Tim Taylor, the United States coach, will have an advantage with Lindros and Larmer, both in the penalty box. And for the USA, Otto will serve 2.
As per international rules, we have a 4-on-3 situation here, aside from the goaltenders. Open ice, you have to look at speed players. Canada goes with 1 forward, Messier, along with 2 defensemen to kill a penalty. The Americans, Ronak on the ice. Watch the speed here.
It's even more meaningful when they play 4-on-3 in this situation on those larger European rinks.
Oh boy, yeah. You're absolutely right.
Messier, Ronak, battling for the face-off in the USA zone. 5-1 Canada, 8:43 to play.
The linesman throws Messier out. That means a defenseman has to step in. Steve Smith will take the draw.
Smith, McInnes, and Messier on the ice for Canada. Ronak to Chelios, and they come forward for the United States. Janney is on the right. He is the only goal for the Americans. Leach is turned back at the blue line for the checking of Messier. Now Chelios, left side pass, gets it across to Leach. In behind, Ranford stopping it. Smith with it. Up the boards. They fail to clear. Off the back of the net, Messier collecting it. Janney checking him. Now Smith between two United States players. Rags the puck, kills a few more seconds, feeds McInnes, and he clears. 40 seconds in these three penalties have gone by. Less than 8 minutes to play in the second period as Chelios feeds Leach. Rick wide to Roenick. Back to Janney. Chelios parked on the point. Awaits the pass. Collects it here. Left side. Leach. Fakes. Chelios. Janney. Centering. Intercepted. Number 99 brings it up for Canada. On his right is Graham. Gretzky will take it back out to the neutral zone. Play it across for Desjardins, and he sweeps it down into the corner of the United States with 45 seconds of the penalty.
And you see Wayne Gretzky read the play. Leach had moved in from the point, was wide open, and Gretzky read it. Gretzky pretty good without the puck.
Now Chelios. Roenick in there with him, chasing it in behind. Janney in the far corner. Suter back on the left point. Still 4-on-3. USA for 25 seconds here. Chelios. Suter to Janney. Turned around, still loose beside the Canadian goal. Sutter comes in to help out. Janney goes down, bumped by Howard-Chuck. Here's Suter for the United States. 8 seconds to go. The manpower advantage relayed wide of Redford. Janney. For Chelios. Left side Suter. All the players come back on the ice. They're at full strength. And it's whistled down to the side of the goal. Only one shot in all that on the part of the United States.
And Otto and Lindros bumping again.
This is the Labatt Canada Cup from Hamilton on CTV.
Gaydon's team, specialty teams, especially in this game, have really gotten the job done. Let's take a look here at the Canadians spread out as they're killing off a penalty. But watch the man in front with a 2-on-1 coming his way. That's Desjardins. As the puck is moved down by Suter, you see the 2-on-1, but hold it. If he goes over here, this man's open. Instead, he stayed in the middle, and the pass could not go through. We roll it. We'll see he can't get through. A good drop down by all three, killing the penalty. And Desjardins, who is not a fancy defenseman, proving that he's smart and to stay in his position.
Otto's got Olczyk and Mullen with him as the play resumes in the Canadian zone. Tocchet over on the far boards, lifts it out to center ice. Robitaille gloves it down and brings it inside the American blue line. Fleury through the legs of Robitaille. Weinrich in the corner. 5-1, Team Canada. They press for more. Fleury couldn't quite get that pass to him. Leach intercepts. Mullen brings it inside the blue line. He's sandwiched and goes down. Played loose in front for Olczyk. He can't get a shot away, and Fleury comes away with a right wing pass for Tocchet. Tocchet tried to feed Robitaille wide open, couldn't get it to him. This is Mullen. Weinrich to Brian Leach, and off the boards again to Mullen.
This shift, one of the only times this game I've seen Brian Leach break up a play, then jump into the play.
Long offside pass. Olczyk over 3 lines. That one was. And they bring it back inside the United States blue. The Labatt's blue, player of the game for Team Canada, will receive the Canon Futura. Hold the future of photography in your hands. The sophisticated new approach in camera design, combining a full range of auto operation features that ensure everyone will enjoy using the Futura.
Well, if you pick that for Team Canada right now, Wayne Gretzky would be at the top of my list. He has done everything with a pretty good supporting cast, and that's why you see a 5-1 score.
I'd even throw in a few rolls of film. Murphy. Bread basket catch by Mike Richter. While it may not be the best night of Richter's career, he hasn't played all that badly, I don't think. He just hasn't gotten much support. They've left him exposed so often back there.
Gretzky with lots of ice time, more than I think the first game of this tournament, and Hull getting more ice time than I thought. He going into this game, looking at it from this morning's view with the sore knee, thought he may just play power play, but They've used them and used them here as their team trails by 4.
Played offside, brought out by the United States to center ice for Miller. Christian with him, and Hatcher. Here's Hull backhanding it and scoring for the United States.
Don, the idea when you have a 5-1 lead is not to get trapped. The Canadians got 3 players trapped in the neutral zone. The Americans put a defenseman into the rush, and all of a sudden they had 4 players. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 Canadians up at the blue line. Now it's a 4-on-2. And with the 2, both Coffey and Murphy are on one side of the ice. Look how much time Brett Hull had on the backhand. All kinds of room. There you see the puck moved into the American zone. Just a backhand swat by Brett Hull, with Hatcher joining the play, and it's 5-2.
The Americans edging back on the goal at 14:34. Here's Granato. And that shot from Roenick off the blocker of Ranford. Marner running into Gary Suter, but clearing it for Canada. Stevens brings it inside the line. Check from behind by Granato. Gets the shot off nonetheless. Granato now beating Roenick. Team Canada steals another one inside the American zone for a moment. Suter to Granato. Dropping it back. Here's Roenick closing in and deflected over top by Bill Ranford.
Don, these are all 4-man rushes now for the Americans. They're sending the defenseman into the play. Chelios on the last one. Brett Hull gets his second goal of the tournament, mainly because, Don, the Canadians got trapped in the neutral zone. And if we look at it here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 Canadian jerseys. Only 1 gets back, so that means 3 forwards are trapped. There you can see them. Now the 2 defensemen are backing up. Now if we hold it, you'll see here Hatcher joining the play to make it a 4-on-2. And this is Coffey, I believe, going over there. That opens up the near side of the ice. The play is red, and there's Brett Hull. They made it look pretty easy after they trapped the Canadians.
Al McKenna skates up the near boards. Ahead to Corson for Messier. Shot by Tocchet back in behind the United States goal. Less than 4.5 minutes to go in period 2. It's 5-2 for Team Canada. First 5 goals by the Canadians, the last 2 by the United States, and this is Otto with Olczyk stepping inside the line, but Messier picks it up and brings it back up the ice. The red-shirted Canadian team, Messier leads the thrust. Here's Tocchet trying to collect the pass, can't pick it up, and the Americans clear. Mullen having trouble getting it across the blue line.
And Joel Otto went back at Corson, who nailed Mullen. Joel Otto is a great competitor.
Leach goes down, approaching the Canadian net. Joey Mullen gets some help from Janney. Centers it out. Smith is taken down, but Team Canada can clear, and they do. U.S. changing on the fly. Now the Canadians will also. Corson and Tocchet go to the bench. 3.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Brett Hull forced back. Now the United States slowly comes forward. Miller on the left. Janney circling. Weinrich trailing. Gloves it. Shoots, and it's blocked by Ranford. Centering pass. Hull got a weak shot off. Couldn't get much on that. Desjardins for the Canadians now.
The Americans are starting to get it together here. Passes are starting to click, and these rushes are becoming, as I mentioned, 4-man rushes.
Robitaille keeps it in for Shanahan. Got a second Canada Cup goal earlier in this period. Hull finds it at center ice. Back for Hull. Back for Hatcher, and he shoots it high into the crowd over top. It's a 5-2 hockey game for Canada. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
He is still very much their head coach, Bob Johnson. A tribute to him and how the Team USA players had to dig deep to play in this Canada Cup tournament. That's coming up between periods, a CTV sports break, and more analysis from our own Bill Clement.
And I talked to Craig Patrick, the GM of the Penguins, before the game. He said Bob Johnson is not able to watch the games live because the hospital isn't equipped to carry the channel that carries them, but he'll be getting the tape first thing tomorrow.
Well, he said something interesting. He said Bob's starting to communicate a little bit by using his voice, and that's certainly something that everybody is happy to hear. The improvement is there, not just gradually, but quite a bit day by day, and that's certainly great news.
That's wonderful. Modano bats it along the backboards. The Americans given new life here by a couple of quick goals. They're still 3 down, but they are starting to climb that mountain. Modano's taken down, no penalty call. About 2 minutes to go in the second period. Roenick loses the race to Graham. Courtnall sweeps it in front. Sutter got turned around and couldn't connect on the pass. Courtnall, Rick wide, gloved and kept alive by Al McInnes. Suter tying up Sutter. Courtnall looks for Lindros in front. He couldn't quite get it to him.
Team Canada tying up the Americans' best line in the American zone.
A minute 20 remaining in the period now as they bump an elbow and sticks up.
What a hit that was. Lindros on Modano that started all this. Oh, man, you could call this one a helmet popper. It looked like a shoulder into the chest of Modano or up high, perhaps to the face. Man, he has hit a lot more in this game than what he did against the Finns. Talking about Lindros.
He's finding and testing his wings in professional company.
I think he's enjoying the test. He is a player. He comes along the near glass here. Watch him move into number 9, Modano. Is it a shoulder? No, it's an elbow. Oh, baby. That was one mean top hit. And the American team reacted to it.
But an 18-year-old, 6'2", 225, skates toward you. With that kind of force and speed, you feel it all right.
And when he arrives in ill humor, it kind of multiplies the situation. Modano's got his head down here. Lindros comes in his right elbow or forearm, and forearm smash. Looks like maybe Lawrence Taylor moving in on a quarterback or something. Oh, man.
So Chelios is going to get 2 minor penalties out of this, so the United States will. The other one's going to go to Gary Suter.
The reaction by 2 defensemen after the hit by Lindros. And the Canadian team with 1:18 left here in the second period, through the protest of Tony Granato, will have a power play. So Suter and Chelios, the 2 defensemen that were on the ice, both sit in the penalty box.
The penalties. The Team USA, number 26, Chris Chelios. Number 20, Gary Suter. 2 minutes each for roughing. The Team Canada, number 88, Gary Lindros. 2 minutes for roughing. That's 18 minutes.
The United States gets the worst of that exchange. It was Lindros who got the best shot in, and I guess the last lap.
As the tournament progresses, Don, coaches have to tell their players to act, not so much react. Lindros acted, was going to, I think, get a penalty, but the Americans overreacted. We saw it earlier when Fleury hit Hatcher in the first period. Hatcher reacted with the stick. Those types of penalties in a tournament where it's not a long season, it's a tournament and a short one, those penalties tend to hurt your hockey club.
Now we have another of those 4-on-3 situations. This time it favors Team Canada.
Well, and Gretzky, when he has more ice time to maneuver, he can be very tricky.
Tocchet's with him, McInnes and Smith. Gretzky waits for it along the boards. Fires it across. McInnes has to give chase. Keeps it in at the blue line. For Gretzky. Waits to make his move. A minute to play in period 2. McInnes across the ice for Smith. They circle, they wait, they set it up as perfectly as they can. While the United States in a 3-man box waits. Here's the shot. That's blocked in front. Tocchet was right there trying to tap it in. Ranford beating it ahead to Gretzky. Drops it off to Tocchet on the left wing inside the blue line, but a stick check by the Americans. Modano clears it. That is Hatcher getting it out.
Nice job by Weinrich. Hatcher, along with Joel Otto, to stop the Canadians from getting one shot.
20 seconds of the period, a little over a minute to go, and the advantage for Team Canada in manpower. And they got to regroup outside the blue line. Gretzky will shoot it to Smith. Relay it on into the far corner. Shanahan overskates it as Canada makes a change. Gretzky still on the ice, but the Americans clear it. Just a second to go in the period. This advantage will carry over to the third, as will the lead built by Team Canada. It was 5-0. It's now 5-2 after 2.
Canada, along with Gretzky, playing well, but the Americans over the last 10 minutes started to show some of their good play, and I think that sets up for what could be a good third period.
20 minutes to go here, and from Hamilton, the Copps Coliseum, this is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Team USA battling back, but still down by 3 after 2 periods here in Copps Coliseum. No one should ever count the United States team out. After all, this is a team that has been riding an emotional elevator the last week, forced to play without their head coach, who underwent surgery to remove a brain tumor. The Americans are still intent upon winning one for their skipper. Bob Johnson may not be able to be with them physically, but you know he is still with them, standing beside them, behind them, with that ever-present notebook in hand.
We're as a team just thinking about Bob and going out there and doing what he would want us to do, and that's go out there and win. And
nothing needed to be said. Nothing was said. We all know what the game meant to him and what he meant to us, and we just went out. I think each of us individually went out and played it, especially for him. We didn't come right out and say it, but you know I played out and went out and worked extra hard just to get that win from there.
No one can explain life's intricate mysteries and complex events. Neither can anyone explain the incredible resolve and determination of the human spirit. To explain the misfortune of Bob Johnson is impossible, but Badger Bob's tenacity still hovers over an emotionally smitten Team USA, a team devastated by the sudden turn of events, but not willing to submit.
No one really wanted to go out and play, but to know his enthusiasm for the game of hockey and what he's meant to American hockey, he's really a pioneer, and there's nothing we could do except strap him up and go out there and do it the way he always taught us to.
His top priority is to ensure that the players are positive and the coaching staffs are positive.
I think the biggest inspiration was yesterday after the game. About 7 or 8 of us went over to the hospital to see him.
If you know how he coaches, he always carries a notebook with him.
Even in the hospital yesterday after the game, he was in there and the guys were telling me he had the notepad out and saying "Beat Canada."
As soon as we walked in the room yesterday, he had a big smile on his face, and he wrote down "Great job" on his piece of paper, and that's all we needed to see.
He was sad when he wrote down on the pad, "They won't let me coach." It's only the second game in my life that I've never been allowed to coach. He was all he wanted us to do was to play well. And his first question when he saw me was, "Are they ready?"
Like you said, we're all affected by this, and we're all praying for him. And I'm sure that he'll fight as hard as he can.
And that quote sort of says it all about Bob Johnson. To everyone who knew him, he always used to say, well, it's a great day for hockey. It's been a sad day for hockey the last few days, as a matter of fact, with that news about Bob Johnson. But we know he's a battler. We know he's a fighter. And all of us are sending our best wishes to Bob Johnson in a Pittsburgh hospital. Get well soon, Bob. This is Labatt Canada Cup Hockey on CTV. Scott Stevens at 8 minutes 33 seconds. Brendan Shanahan scored after that. Then Craig Janney for Team USA and Brett Hull, and the score is 5-2. Canada leading the shots on goal tally 20-16. Here's John and Don.
Thank you, Rod. A period to go, and it is obvious the next goal will be oh so important as to the final outcome tonight.
You know, to this point, power play wise, Canada has scored 3, American team 1. Short-handed goals, the Canadian team has the only one, so 4-1 is the score in this game regarding specialty teams. As we look at Don Koharski, big day for him today. He opened a new business in Burlington, Ontario. Sport and practice, a place where you bring the family down, and batting cages, golf ranges, all that stuff.
Now he comes back to his part-time job tonight.
Yeah, he's a good referee, I'll tell you that. If you watch him night after night all season long, he gets it done.
We begin the period with Suter and Chelios still in the penalty box. Eric Lindros also in for Canada, but it's a 4-on-3 advantage for 42 seconds for Team Canada. First, the U.S. must get by that if they're to mount a comeback.
Mike Keenan mentioned one thing this morning. He said, my players in back checking have to use something called head on a swivel. In other words, when they're back checking, turn your head side to side and watch for trailers joining the play. Watch for people like Hatcher and Leach coming from behind to get into the offense. And you saw Team USA, Don, during the latter portion of that second period, with their defensemen joining the rush, get it going a little bit.
The puck was not dropped fairly. So Don Koharski will reload between Shanahan and Otto. Now we're underway in period 3. Weinrich backhands it to the Canadian line for McInnes. Rink wide left side, too far for Smith. Hatcher takes over for the United States. 25 seconds to go, and the odd man power advantage for Team Canada. McInnes seeing so much ice time in these first 2 games of the Labatt Canada Cup. Brings it inside the blue line. Now makes his pass. Gets it back again. 7 seconds to go on the penalty. Smith down to Gretzky. Shanahan's parked in front. Gretzky shooting. That's turned back by Hatcher. And they're all coming out of the box now. Everybody's back on even terms. Long lead pass to Sutter. Chelios trailing. Sutter cutting in front. Couldn't make the shot. A minute gone in the final period. Lindros made a nice move there, had it taken away at the last moment. Adano now, long drive. Redford handles and turns to the side for Stevens. Wolanin back inside the blue line, brings it ahead for the pass to Leach now. Left at the Team Canada blue line, and Murphy clears, gets it out. Graham on the left wing. That's the long wide angle shot. Doe collects it in behind, feeds it in front, loose puck. Picked up by Roenick. Adano. Roenick on the right, brings it to the line, but not beyond. Sutter for Team Canada. His shot off the blocker of Richter. Murphy goes to the bench. Canada changing on the fly, almost 2 minutes into period 3. Pass at center is broken up by Miller.
Sutter made sure that he picked up Roenick in the neutral zone, Don. When Sutter's on the ice and Roenick is out there, it's not Sutter's job to score when you have the lead. It's his job to take care of Roenick in a defensive fashion. Did a nice job during that last shift.
Sutter makes the right side pass. Janney at center ice for the United States. Miller's with him. He has it now. Miller gets turned off to the corner. Desjardins, very impressive in these first 2 games for Team Canada. Up the boards for Robitaille. Cornwell over on the far side, relays it ahead, a break for Messier. Robitaille with him. In they come 2-on-1. Back to Robitaille. He shoots wide.
You're seeing the American defense pinch a lot since they trail by 3, and when they do that, they're going to get trapped on occasion. Chelios just was, but Canada could not finish the play.
From Hamilton, this is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Pinching for Team USA when they trail. This is Suter in here pinching. Over on the other side, Chelios is going to be there. Janney's back, filling in. But watch, Suter's in already. We mentioned that. The puck goes around. Hold it. There goes Chelios, and he's trapped. And the puck will be ricocheted off the boards. And watch the 2-on-1 develop with both defensemen back. Suter now jumps back into the play, but Chelios is trapped. It's a 2-on-1. Robitaille with a rolling puck doesn't hit the open side. But pinching-wise, you're going to see a lot of it, I think, throughout the third period by the Americans as they trail.
Shane Corson getting ready for the face-off for Team Canada. Dave Christian for the United States. About 3 minutes gone in the third period, 5-2. Team Canada has the lead. Lindros, Larmer, Howardchuk, Stevens, Shanahan, the goal scorers for Team Canada. Leach to an open wing. Gretzky at the blue line, leaves it there. Over the left side now for Shane Corson. Corson, Richter down to smother it. And there's a stoppage in play. 3 assists on some very pretty goals tonight. Wayne Gretzky has helped engineer.
He did not score a point in the initial game for Canada in this tournament. And Wayne Gretzky's always had lots of support. His wife here watching and his father watching, and guess which one is which?
I'll leave that to you. Walter Gretzky and Janet have to be happy with what they've seen so far tonight, both from a team standpoint and from Wayne's standpoint, closing his hand more firmly now and even taking a couple of face-offs from time to time. Corson on the draw here with Otto. They go down in a pile. Smith carries on. Here's Corson behind the net, leading it there. Weinrich over on the far side with Mullen. Rick wide relays broken up by Shane Corson, and Corson dumps it back to the United States corner. Leach. Mullen back to Leach. Americans having a tough time clearing. Persistent forechecking by Canada. Now they bring it forward. An errant left wing pass is too far for Christian. Al McInnes leads the puck up to Lindros. Cross to the other side. Shanahan couldn't pick it up. Gretzky has it now. Gretzky to Lindros. Young Lindros going in against 3 defenders. They stop him at the blue line. Mullen down to the corner. Howardchuk for Canada. 4 minutes gone here in the third period. Dumped off by Hatcher. Desjardins for Canada. Lindros got taken down from behind. Here's the pass in front, sailing across the goal crease from Granato. Pet ahead for Lindros. He's got Desjardins trailing on the play. With Coffey, in they go. And it's into the United States corner. Whistle down in there, and they will have a stoppage in play with about 4.5 minutes gone. Third period on the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Eric Lindros has been hitting a lot of people, and he's taken some hits. Watch Wolanin come across here, and the elbow comes out, knocking Lindros off balance as Lindros had to look for the puck along the boards. Wolanin has had a couple of good, solid collisions with Lindros in this game. I guess mainly because they're both about the same size.
That's partial U.S. payback for that elbow that Lindros threw a while ago and got a penalty for. Messier. Bouncing puck, Robitaille can't connect. Roenick for the United States shoots it in. Modano following. Desjardins tied him up. Roenick behind the net for Modano. Near boards, Robitaille for Canada. Relay to Messier by Coffey. Solid check there by Little Fleury. He carries on with it to Coffey. Robitaille works it down the boards past Modano. Messier, Fleury in front. Robitaille got turned around, couldn't get the shot away. Fleury escapes the check from Roenick. Hatcher goes down on the pile and behind. Here's Coffey shooting. Two Americans collide. Granato goes down. And a confrontation with Janney right at center ice. About 6 minutes are gone. Suter. Shot gets away off target.
Don, one of the character people in the game today, the game of ice hockey, is Tony Granato. And he got nailed twice during his last shift. The first time by this guy, Theo Fleury. And Fleury appeared when he nailed Granato as though he jumps up and turns. Oh, baby. He leaves his feet and gets his butt right into the chest of Tony Granato. And Tony stayed on the ice, and he pays for it as he's nailed by Janney at center ice. It's a tough, tough shift for one of the good guys in the business, in Tony Granato.
Approaching the 6-minute mark. No scoring in the period so far. Graham and the Chicago Blackhawks couldn't make a shot or a pass. And so Janney, representing the Boston Bruins, brings it in. Chelios backhands it beside the net, flagged down by Bill Ranford. The first 5 goals scored by Canada, the last 2 by the United States. Here's a great chance. They score. The United States makes it 5-3. Janney persists in front and bangs it in.
5-3 with 13:46 remaining, and you saw the reaction on behalf of the coaching staff of the Americans. This is a giveaway in the Canadian zone. They had control of the puck and control of the play. Here's the pass, and Sutter can't redirect the puck out. It's kept in nicely, and you see the goal scored. It was Brett Hull that kept it in, breaking the play up, and there's the play finished. As I believe Janney puts it in through Ranford. It was a play in which Canada decided to go up the middle, and as the puck was redirected, Brett Hull read the play and kept it alive. And all of a sudden, the Canadians are starting to think the Americans are alive.
Janney's second goal of the night. About 6.5 minutes in the third period, a 5-3 hockey game now. It grows ever more interesting. Olczyk wearing it ahead in center ice. This is McInnes now. His pass ahead of the blue ice, blocked by Leach. Leach for the United States tries to connect with Mullen, can't do so. Shanahan gives it to Messier. Robitaille on his right. Robitaille backhands it in front, and Messier couldn't redirect it. This is Otto for Olczyk. 2-on-2. Olczyk shot. That's blocked by the defender, Al McInnes, who seems to be everywhere tonight. Robitaille trying to collect it. McInnes recovers for Canada. Now he makes the pass off the left side. Messier rags the puck, now goes to the bench. Canada changes, and the red wave comes in. Here's Coffey, leaving it for Larmer beside the net. Stick checked off into the corner.
One of the few rushes by Coffey in this game as he battles the flu. He did not skate this morning.
This is Hatcher leading it in for a rejuvenated United States team. Jeremy Roenick circles. Headed off there by Shane Corson. Gets it ahead to Gretzky. Tries to find Corson back inside the line, and Hatcher intercepts and clears to Modano. 3-on-2, the Americans come in. Roenick, left wing pass. Flips it in front. Gretzky will clear it off the far boards. Coming up on 8 minutes of playing time in a 5-3 game, which Canada once led 5-0. Miller steers it across to Suter. Graham forechecking. Wins the puck. Graham taken down at the blue line. No penalty call. This crowd of 17,000 hollering for one. Play goes right on. Sutter. Graham. Oh, and a spinning Tocchet taken down as he got that shot away. Offside, blows it down in any event. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
To make it 5-3. Let's look at the goal. As Canada was in good shape here, you see one American here, and that's it to this point. So Canada has 4 players and 1 American chasing them. Now, if we stop it, we'll look at Brett Hull standing here. Stevens has the option, go here or go here, but it's Brett Hull who breaks it up. He reads the play, jumps into Sutter, and all of a sudden, hold it, as the goal was scored, it became a 2-on-1 in front on behalf of the Americans. What started, Don, is a 4-on-1 on behalf of the Canadians.
Here's McInnes now from outside the line. His blast is handled by Richter. Ryan Leach steers it around to the right, and up the ice he comes. Nice moves by Leach. Relaying it back of Ranford. It comes up to stop it for Smith. Too far for Lindros on the boards. The Americans, with a big second wind here, have come back to it in 2 goals. Leach swings away from Clark to feed Janney, who's got 2 of the American goals tonight, and it's back to Brian Leach at center. Inside the line with Christian. His shot is steered wide on the deflection. Hull tumbles into the boards in an open corner. And Hull will go to the bench on a United States line change as Canada brings it up the ice. Too far for Lindros. He'll chase it in as they'll call for icing. 10:51 left. Face-off back in the Team Canada zone with Canada ahead 5-3. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. Back in the 3rd period, they sense that if they can get one more, they can really make a go of this.
116 Americans playing in the National Hockey League, Don. It tells you something about their talent pool. In the last half of this game, through the latter portion of the 2nd period and here in the 3rd, it's been a much different team than what we saw in the 1st period.
And hops into the United States bench. So many great players, primarily coming from the college ranks in the United States.
And a lot of defensemen are becoming great defensemen, such as Kevin Hatcher, such as Brian Leach. Well, Lannon has played a lot more here as this game has moved along on the blue line for the Americans. Hatcher led his team in scoring during this season. Brian Leach led the New York Rangers in scoring during the regular season last season. That tells you about their abilities and their offensive abilities.
The Finnish linesman will drop the puck between Fleury and Otto just inside the Team Canada blue line.
Looks like the Americans are starting to double shift Brian Leach here in the 3rd, and Leach is starting to react to it.
Quick backhand shot wide from Mullenstick. Fleury to Murphy. Oh, they try to lead it to Robitaille. Couldn't get it to him. Here's Olczyk. He's in alone. He shoots. And a great save by Ranford. Point blank from Ed Olczyk.
What a great play by Leach to read the play and within a whisker or an instant move the puck ahead.
Here they come again. Hatcher right side. His shot is steered off target by Ranford. Billy Ranford pressured now as the United States turns it on. Otto's quick shot is stopped. Still loose in the Canadian zone. Hatcher but aside. They score. No goal. Gets waved off by Koharski.
The whistle sounded without a question prior to the puck going over the goal line. 2 goals Team USA have scored in this game. 2 disallowed that have been disallowed. The one with too many men on the ice, and this time there's no question that the whistle sounded before the puck went over the line. As to why, I'm not really sure.
Interference.
Interference.
The whistle sounded on a penalty.
Puck is kept in by Leach. Koharski's on the far side of the ice. You know,
watch Olczyk. That's the interference right there.
Right. Interference, penalty to Eddie Olczyk. Koharski had blown the whistle before the puck went in to indicate the penalty. And Team USA, who scored twice in this game, had the goals disallowed and a guy in the penalty box.
Oh, does Olczyk have something to think about now, because it really was a needless penalty he took with the puck bouncing loose in the Team Canada zone.
And the Americans were flying. What a shift that was. Led by Brian Leach, who kept it alive 3 or 4 different times. He turned a defensive play into a breakaway by Olczyk, who didn't score.
So the Canadian power play goes back to work. They have clicked 3 times. They've all been tonight. Chelios, far corner. Smith for Canada has it. Digs it back. Big Lindros almost deflected in, but Gretzky now turns around the other way, being watched by Brown. He gets it across to Smith. In behind the Lindros. Popped in front. Gretzky shooting, and that was turned away on the short side.
Good work by the 3 forwards in one corner of the ice. And finally the shot, and Richter just stayed on his feet, covered the angle, and stopped the puck with the shot up high. Lindros, Gretzky, and Larmer were the 3 forwards, and they were all changing positions. We see them deep. They're all in real good shape as far as where to be, but it took Larmer a split second to go from the backhand to the forehand. That was enough time for Mike Richter to establish position to make the save look easy.
Lindros will stay out to center. Gretzky is on his right. Shanahan on his left.
They might butt heads as they get ready for this face-off. Oh, Otto's really trying to establish position.
Bounces free. Shot back by Larmer. McInnes deflected. Rebound. Couldn't get a shot away. Here's McInnes now from the right point. Gretzky near boards. Slap shot from the point is wide. The rebound is dug out. Flip to Gretzky. Jams away. They score. Gretzky scores. It is 6-3 Canada.
Gretzky, watch this soft pass across to McInnes for the shot, and Gretzky drives to the net after passing the puck back to the defenseman. He'll find the loose puck here and just jam it, and somehow it squirts through Mike Richter. The first bad goal that Mike Richter's allowed. But Gretzky on the power play stays out of traffic. The puck comes to him. There it is. Banks it in. Richter, I don't think, was expecting a shot, and Gretzky's had himself some night at the office.
Scoring from a very difficult angle. A 3-goal lead again for Team Canada. Less than 9 minutes remaining. Steve Smith will circle his own goal around to Shanahan on the near boards, and a relay back to the United States blue line. Craig Wolanin. It's left there for Shanahan. They kick away at him. Hatcher defending for the United States, and Robitaille picks it up in the corner. Robitaille, a backhand shot is gloved by Richter. Drops it off for Roenick. Modano is taken down by Smith. There'll be another Team Canada penalty. The United States will get a power play. In behind the play. A penalty to Canada. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV. And power advantage once again to the United States.
Yeah, Smith realized the foul right there as Modano got position on him. Modano down, and the Americans come back with a power play unit. Brian Leetch on the ice. They've used Miller at center ice a lot on the power play tonight, even more so than Roenick on the power play.
He'll oppose Sutter on the draw. Sutter wins it, flips it back inside his blue line. Stevens giving chase. Circles the net on the left side. Quick pass ahead at center ice. The United States with Chelios being tied up by Sutter, has to backtrack. Leetch gets away from the Canadian forechecking. Has Miller and Hull with him. Drops it back for Modano on the boards. Modano circling, makes his pass, and Hull fans on it. Over in the corner and off the boards, held in by Miller, but now cleared by Sutter. Out for Graham. Graham, the premier penalty killer, will go to the bench now. 40 seconds gone on the penalty. This crowd of 17,500 to settle to Hamilton is roaring in the second Canada Cup game for both teams. Puck is not clear. Hull kept it in. Miller digs in the corner against Desjardins. Now Stevens in there. They fail to clear. Centering pass. Hull parked in front. Nobody watching him. They didn't get it to him. Now past Suter. It's cleared for Team Canada right to Richter's doorstep. 48 seconds. The penalty remains. Uesh getting fresh guns out there. Hull though remains inside the line. Suter takes it in. Cleared to the near boards. Larmer for Canada. Pass Roenick to Gretzky. McInnes with the great one on his left. Tries to make the pass and makes it beautifully. Gretzky just shot it wide.
Gretzky had to work to get away from the bigger player, Kevin Hatcher. It nearly worked for a goal.
Roenick collects it at the blue line. Drops the pass off. There's nobody behind as it's shot all the way out across the blue line as Hull makes a bad blind pass. He'll go to the bench. Janney, who scored 2 tonight, passes to Roenick. A second to go on the penalty. They drop it back. Here is Suter shooting, and back on the ice comes Smith. They're on full terms again, full strength. Swept in front, cleared by Team Canada. 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the game. Courtnall dangerously on Richter's front door there. Almost stole the puck. The United States getting it ahead. The left wing pass for Tony Granato. Back to Joel Otto inside the line. He passes to an open wing. Picked up by Stevens and again cleared by the Canadians into the United States bench area. We invite you to be sure to stay tuned right after the game for the Butterball Canada game highlight. Butterball, what only the best will do.
Butterball Turkey Franks. Now there's something you can sink your teeth into. They're downright delicious and nutritious. The chuck wagon treat round my campfire.
Our next telecast on CTV Thursday night, Canada versus Sweden in Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens. Should be a special night. The return to Maple Leaf Gardens of Borje Salming.
And the Americans will move on to play in Detroit. They'll get great support there. Then Team USA finishes up Saturday and Monday in Chicago, Don, and that should be quite a thrill to play the Soviets and Finns in one of the great arenas for hockey.
Here's Leach stealing it, trying to bring it in quickly. The United States down 3, continues to press. They thread it through, but can't find Mullen on the stick of Leach. Here's Tocchet stealing it. Dropping it off inside the line, digging it back, and he couldn't get a clear shot on goal. It was set up beautifully by Messier. Quick end-to-end response from both these teams. Messier, with only a practice or two in his second game, is flying out there, looking better with every passing period.
He's very stiff this morning, Don, after playing a lot in game 1 2 nights ago, but he has to go through that to get himself into shape.
Banked off the boards for Granato. His right wing pass for Modano inside the line. Waits and gives it back to Granato. The United States wingers are flying in there. Smith nails Granato with a good check and an elbow in the corner. Gretzky trying to stand Larmer away. Gets it back in the line and brings it inside. Dumps it off on the left face-off circle, and Carson has a block. Larmer has a rebound, and that's stopped by Richter too. 4.5 minutes to play. Still loose in the Team USA zone. They clear. Back comes the red wave from Canada. Gretzky, McInnes, his shot. Richter holds that. 4:13 left. 6-3 is the lead for Team Canada here in Hamilton. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Team USA captain Joel Otto, the training staff was just over spraying some freezing potion onto it, and Otto is a competitor, looks a little dejected. He has played hard in this one. I'll tell you, the guy that's played great though is Wayne Gretzky, and as he just went off the ice ending his last shift, he had a standing ovation from the people here in Hamilton.
As you know, he's had some hand problems of his own, but his hand appears to be healing rapidly. Sutter on the face-off against Janney. He scored 2 of the 3 United States goals this evening. Hull has the other, but they trail 6-3. 4 minutes to go now. Miller inside the Team Canada line. Knifes it right in front. Picked up by Graham. Off the boards. He banks it ahead for Sutter. Closing in with a short side backhand drive redirected by Richter. Desjardins in front. Graham shooting. They bang away. And cleared by the United States Chelios.
The Canadians have jammed the net in this game. Every time Richter's making saves, there's a Canadian player right in his face. That makes it tough.
3.5 minutes remaining. 6-3 Canada leads. Ranford stopping it for Coffey. Ahead to Fleury. Doesn't get the pass to Robitaille. Otto intercepts. Sore hand and all. He's on the ice. Leach. Olczyk. Intercepted by Howardchuk. Now Mullen. Olczyk carrying on, being watched by McInnes, taken down in the corner there. Joey Mullen can't keep it. Leach will keep it in play for the Americans, however. Mullen digs it behind the net. Less than 3 minutes remaining now. Howardchuk off the boards, clears the zone. Time rapidly running out on the United States. A team that mounted a comeback. They came back from the dead tonight and have made a game of it. Well, here's a little mix-up, and we'll get to it in a moment. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
or Weinrich, pardon me.
The penalties to Team USA, number 38, Eric Weinrich. The Team Canada, number 14, Johan Fleury.
Little Fleury in the thick of things again, takes a penalty along with Weinrich.
Look at two players were going to their respective benches for a line change, and the sparks started to fly a little bit.
So they go for roughing with 2:44 to go. That is a slashing penalty they have redefined for each. So they're wood chopping out there with 2:44 left.
Don, we were talking during the intermission with Terry Jones, one of the writers for an Edmonton paper, the Edmonton Sun, talking about Lindros, pardon me, with a forearm on Modano. He said, yeah, he Messier'd him. And if you remember in hockey past, Messier loves to go in and use the forearm to crash people. Wasn't a bad saying.
Is young Lindros in the corner, feeding it somewhat dangerously out of there, but McInnes finds it to Messier. Lindros going in, can't accept the pass, it bounces off his skate. Messier, side of the goal, battling with Hatcher. He kicks it back to Smith and keeps it in motion that way. 2:10 remaining. Chelios ahead at center. Roenick brings it forward now. 2 minutes remaining. Left at the line. Smith just kills a few more seconds. Easing it back into the United States corner on a change. Gretzky is on the ice with Desjardins. Now Coffey and Larmer. Teams each a man short. For the next 53 seconds, Hull got turned around by Desjardins. Larmer at center ice for Canada. Brings it in. Coffey and Gretzky with him back to Larmer. The great redirect blocked by Mike Richter.
And Larmer's had a multitude of chances. In fact, when you're on the ice and Gretzky's out there and you're in the offensive zone, get to the net somehow, because Gretzky, with his skill level, and when it's working like it is tonight, he'll find you. This is another example of a give and go. Larmer gave it, then he took off. He went right to the net. Look at that elevated, beautiful pass. Larmer with a fine deflection, and Richter with a great save. Gretzky has put on a show.
A productive night for the Great One, accounting directly and indirectly for 4 of the 6 Canada goals. Leach skates around him and brings it out to Suter. Dumped off to Janney. 1:10 remaining now. Across the goal crease past Ranford. And up the boards for Janney to keep in if he can. He cannot. Team Canada brings it out with Gretzky on the left side. Quick shot there is blocked. Shanahan got it off. Less than a minute to go as they fall on it at center ice.
Don, you like to look back at hockey games and think of various moments which were important for your team. The score was 5-3. Olchuk took a beautiful Brian Leetch pass and had a breakaway, and Billy Ranford made the save. Shortly after, during the same shift, Olchuk took the penalty and Canada scored to make it a 6-3 lead. That breakaway save by Ranford, even though it seems to have been a one-sided game, was a big one when you think about it.
Indeed, and no question the United States has had abundant scoring chances. Remember, 2 goals were taken away that they thought they had put on the net. One with 2 men on the ice, another with a rather needless penalty by Olchuk that you referred to. And Ranford has been brilliant. 52 seconds remain. Otto and Sutter battle for it. The United States is going to be 1-1. Canada will be a win and a tie into the second game of the Canada Cup competition. Fleury inside the United States zone with 35 seconds remaining. Comes free. Sutter with it. Fleury parked the edge of the crease. Too far back for Stevens. He'll backpedal to his own blue line to Murphy. Fewer than 20 seconds remain now in Hamilton. Hamilton, this crowd applauding and appreciating what Team Canada's been able to do against a determined United States side that did not quit, down 5-0, came back and made a battle of it. They're up and giving Canada a standing ovation as time runs out in Hamilton's Cox Coliseum. Canada has defeated the United States by a final score of 6-3.
The Ford F-150 spacious
showed in the first half propelled them to a win. Along with that, their best player was the best player on the ice, and that was Wayne Gretzky.
For a presentation of the Labatt's Player of the Game Awards.
Maintenant la présentation des joueurs du match.
So we're going to go down to the ice and the post-game presentation.
The Major Accounts Manager of Canada, Mr. Tim Sherwood, and the Assistant District Sales Manager for the Labatt Ontario Brewery, Mr. Herb Needham. The Labatt Player of the Game for Team USA with 2 goals, number 23, Craig Janney. He receives an inlet carving courtesy of Canadian Tire. Team player for Labatt Player of the Game for Team Canada receives a Canon Futura camera, number 99, Wayne Gretzky.
There was no doubt the great one, Wayne Gretzky, mobbed by his teammates. A 4-point night tonight. The Labatt's Blue Player of the Game for Team Canada. And the Labatt's Blue Player of the Game for Team USA with 2 goals tonight, Craig Janney, but in a losing cause. The final score again, Team Canada 6, the United States 3. Wayne Gretzky, the Player of the Game for Canada. This is the 1991 Labatt Blue Canada Cup on CTV.